Today children, I'm going to talk about the ASTC graph, which the video of which I've already uploaded, but again just to give you a quick revision, it is ASTC graph. Now there are certain things which we have to remember. This is my first quadrant, this is my second, this is my third, and this is my fourth quadrant. Now these are my perpendicular axis, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. I know this is positive x, this is positive y, this side it's negative y, this side is negative x. So I know that this is positive, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative. This is how I divide my coordinate plane over here. Now, supposing I have a line and making an angle of theta with the x-axis. Now, in trigonometry, there are two directions. One is positive direction, the other is negative direction. Positive direction means I am talking like this, which is anti-clockwise. So this is anti-clockwise. And negative would be clockwise. Generally, see, we say positive for clockwise and negative for anti-clockwise, but here in trigonometry, it's just the opposite. So theta would be the angle made by the line with the x-axis in the positive direction. That is how we talk about the theta. But over here now see, this is my line, this is the angle, this is the x-axis, and if I take this, now see, this is my positive, this is also my positive. Now sine theta over here, I know it is p by h. If this is p, this is b, this is h. We should remember the side opposite to theta is termed as p, and the other side containing the right angle is the base, and hypotenuse is the longest side of the right angle triangle, which is always to be taken as positive. So now sine theta would be p by h, that is positive upon positive, giving you positive. Similarly for cos now, cos theta would be base is positive upon positive because it is b by h, so positive. Tan theta, similarly p by b, so positive upon positive will give me positive over here. So now you can see over here all the three ratios are positive. That is why my first quadrant is known as A. A meaning all, right? Similarly, let's go on to the second quadrant. I'm drawing the line here. This is my theta, and let's say this. Okay. Now again, side opposite to this is P. Now this is positive. This side is negative because it's a part of the negative x-axis. So this is negative, and hypotenuse has to be always positive. So now you can see over here, my sine will be what? Positive upon positive, that gives me positive. Cosine, base upon hypotenuse, so negative upon positive is going to give me negative. Then tan is going to give me p by b, so positive upon negative is going to give me negative. So it's only sine which is positive over here. That is why my second quadrant is known as S. So see, we've done A, S. Now coming on to the third quadrant, let's see this. I'm taking this now theta. Now this will be P and this will be my B. Now P is what? A part of the negative y. So this is negative. And hypotenuse as usual is positive. Base, negative x-axis it is. So negative over here. So now let's see. Sine. P by h it is. So negative upon positive. will give me what? Negative. Cosine, now let's see, b by h. So negative upon positive will again give me negative. Tan p by b. So negative upon negative, it's going to give me positive. So this is how I have my tan as positive over here. Now, so therefore I've reached the third quadrant. Third quadrant will be now T, because only tan is positive over here. Okay, so now I have done A, S, T. Now reaching the fourth quadrant. Let's see this. This is my theta. Now this time this will be my P. So this is negative now, and this is positive. This is negative because this is a part of the negative axis Y. Hypotenuse again will be positive. So now let's see this. Sine P by H. So negative upon positive is going to give me negative. Let's see cos. Then B by H. So positive upon positive will give me positive. Tan. Tan will be now what? P by B. So negative upon positive gives me negative. So now you can see in the fourth quadrant, it's only C which is positive. So that is why the fourth quadrant is known as C. Now I have A, S, T, C. This is my complete. Now keep in mind that you have, I've told you just now, positive direction is anti-clockwise and negative direction is clockwise. So this direction is positive. Alright, this is positive. If I draw it like this, this is my positive direction, positive theta, and this side is negative theta. So now if I say sine of plus theta, right? So positive would mean I'm talking about positive, so in this direction, so theta would be over here. But if I say sine of negative theta, sine of minus theta, that means I'm coming down now because I'm talking about negative theta. So it would be starting from here. So see, although the position of the angle is changing from positive theta to negative theta. When it was positive, I started with the first quadrant. And when I said negative theta, I started with the fourth quadrant. These signs of the trigonometrical ratios will remain the same, whether you are taking the positive direction or the negative direction. That remains the same, right? Now let's see, if I am talking about sine, let's say 120 degrees. Okay, for this now you need to remember this is 0 degree, this is my 90 degree, this is my 180 degree, and this is 270 degrees, and back again here I am 360 degrees. I should know the position 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree and 360 degrees, because I know every quadrant is of 90 degrees. So I start 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270, 270 to 360, and if it is further, then you keep on going round and round about this point over here. So you could go in this direction also, you could go in this direction also. That is why you need to remember that there are two directions of measuring the angle in trigonometry over here. Now another thing, when I say sine 120, now you should remember that in your standard values you did not have the value of 120 degree. You just had 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. That means we need to have some kind of approach over here so that we can arrive at those standard values. For this now, we say that, let's say, now for this you need an expression over here. That means either it could be 90 plus 30 or it could be 180 minus 60, or it could be 240 minus 120, or 360 minus 120. So using my standard values, I could write like this. So that means I should have the expression over here, standard expressions. So now for that, if you are writing your angles as 90 plus minus something, right, there will be a change. Now when I say change, it means sine changes to cosine, alright, and cosine changes to sine, tan changes to cot, sec to cosec, and cosec to sec, right? This is how we change. When it is 90 plus minus something, then you have to change. Change meaning if you were given a sine ratio, it would change to cosine. If you were given cosine, it would change to sine. If you were given tan, it would change to cot, sec to cosec, and cosec to sec. This is just with 90 plus minus. Similarly, when I have 180 plus minus something, it means no change. Now no change means sine remains as sine, cosine as cosine, tan as tan, sec as sec, cosec as cosec, and cot as cot. Okay? So when you have 90 plus minus something, there will be a change. When it is 180 plus minus something, it will not change. Similarly, we say if you had 270 plus minus something, then also it would mean the same thing. That is, it would be change. And here also, if it was 360 plus minus something, this would mean no change. So we have two conversions over here. One is 90 plus minus, 270 plus minus, it's a change. And when you have 180 plus something, 360 plus something, minus also similarly, it would not mean any change there. Now how do we go by this? Whether it's 90 plus or 270 or 180 or 360, how do we apply it over here? Now see. Going back to my statement, I was talking about sine 120. I'm going to write this as sine, because sine is sines. I'm taking this as 90 plus 30. There is no fixed rule that you have to take 90 plus only. You could also take it as 180 minus 60 also. Either way, either you could go with this or you could go with this. Now see, 240 we don't have, 360 I have, but I'm not taking this because this is not a standard value. I just know 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90 there. So that is why this one I'm ruling out, this one I'm ruling out. I would talk with reference to this. So you are going to convert your given angle in terms of the known angle over here. When I say the word known, it means standard values, right? Now see, I have used 90 plus. 90 plus means over here now see, sine changes. Now change would mean sine to cosine. So cosine of what now? Of the excess or the deficit which you have used in your expression. Again I am repeating, once you change the trigonometrical ratio, it will become of the excess or deficit over here. That is sine 90 plus 30. 30 was the excess over 90. So it is to be written as cos 30. Now cos 30 is what? Standard value? Root 3 by 2. Now you can give the answer. Okay. Now supposing if I had used this one, I could also write Let's see. Sine 180 minus 60. I'm still talking about sine 120 only. Okay. So now sine 180 it is. I'm using 180 minus, that means I fall in this category. It means what? No change. No change means sine and sine remains the same over here. So this is sine of what now? Of the axis or deficit I said. Now this time is the deficit, which is what? 60 degree. That is sine 60. And you get the answer as root 3 by 2. Okay. Now this was the case when you were having a value which was less than 180 degrees. Alright. There was a slight change that from first quadrant you shifted to the second quadrant. Now let's see a value where you have to see the quadrant also. Quadrant also plays a very important role. Let's see, for example, now let's see an example. I'm taking it to be as sine 300. Now see here in this example, I was in the first and the second quadrant, and in the first and second quadrant all my ratios in the first quadrant are positive. I was talking about sine was also positive, so there was no problem. But now let's see, I'm still talking about sine, but now I'm going on to 300 degrees, sine of 300. So how do I go now? Now let's see, I'm going to use the expression as sine, I'm going to take 270 plus 30. See, I showed you over here with 90. Here again a second time with 180. Now I'm going to talk about 270. Now let's see this. I have written it as 270 plus something. So excess is what? 30. Change or no change I'm going to decide from here. Now 270 was in this category, which means a change, right? So therefore, sine changes to cosine of what? The axis or the deficit, that is this. Now 270 plus something. Now see, 270 is here. If I add something to this, that means I'll be moving to this quadrant. I'll be coming to the fourth quadrant. Now nature of this sign in the fourth quadrant is what? Negative. I'm going to carry this minus sign over here. So therefore, it is now minus, and cos 30 is what? Root 3 by 2. So it is root 3 by 2. So you are now looking at the fourth quadrant also and the nature of this original trigonometrical ratio given to you. Whatever is the nature, that is also to be attached in the sign. Now, if I apply it here, look at this example. It was sine 120, I had taken 90 plus. Now 90 plus meant a change, so change to cos of the axis, so 30. Now 90 plus something would mean, this is 90 plus something, I get what? Second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, sine is what? Positive, that's the original ratio. So I had plus over here. And generally speaking, positive signs are not written like this, so therefore I also did not write. Similarly here now see, in the same manner, 180 means a no change, so it was sine. 180 minus, this is my 180, this line, minus something would mean I go back here in the second. And in the second quadrant, sine is positive, so again this is positive. So you are going to look at first what? Change, no change. Secondly, you change it of the axis and the deficit, you write that, write the standard value, carry the sign of the original ratio in whichever quadrant it was lying originally, right? So therefore, you're going to proceed in 2 steps like this. Now, let's see another way. I'm still talking about sine, but I'm going to talk in terms of this time 360 minus 60. Now see, this also gives me 300. So therefore now 360 means no change. I am here. So no change. So this for sine remains as sine. But of what? X is a deficit. This time I have the deficit. Deficit of what? 60. Now this is root 3 by 2. Now 360 minus something. This is my 360. Minus something would mean I'll come down. I'll be in the fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant you can see my sign is what? Negative. So negative over here. So you can see the quadrants are playing a very important role over here. And you can now give me the answer for any angle ever asked. Just remember this diagram over here.